So it's that time of year again when you start going through your tackle box and replacing bits and pieces that got damaged over the last season. And I was just spooling up a new sinking line, and I was about to put a little braided loop on the end of it, and I thought, well, why not video it, show people how to do it. I often get asked about the connections at the end of fly lines. A lot of these fly lines nowadays come with a nice little welded loop at the end of the line, already in place straight out of the factory. Nothing wrong with them. The welded loops are extremely strong and a very, very good idea. The only problem is when you're like me and you're using a fluorocarbon all the time, fluorocarbon will eventually wear through, will eventually cut through that loop, unfortunately. So just to make a more secure fixing, I cut the welded loop off the lines and I use one of these braided loops. These braided loops are designed for sinking lines and floating lines. They're cheap, inexpensive, and they will last ages, absolutely ages. They're so robust, and they're a great way to connect your fly line to your leader. I just thought I'd show you how to put one of these on. Now these come in a packet, quite long, straight out of the packet like that, and they come with these little silicone sleeves as well. You've got the orange ones and you've got some clear ones there. We're going to use a little bit of silicone sleeve. First thing to do is to cut this down to size. At the moment it's way too long. Okay, these come out of the packet, they're about 4 or 5 inches long, so I'm just going to cut that pretty much in half, because we don't want that great big stiff joint at the end of the fly line really. So we're going to cut that nicely in half, just nice sharp pair of scissors straight through like that, and discard that piece and keep the bit with the loop on the end. Alright, that's the bit we're going to be using. Now next thing we want to do is we want to slip a little bit of silicone tubing onto that braided loop. Alright, as I said, these silicone tubing come in clear and they come in orange in most of these packets. Personally, I like to use the clear. The reason being, and I've found this to happen quite commonly, when I put a little bit of orange tubing onto my leader joint, it's great, you can see it, but so can the fish, and they actually come in and they attack the leader joint. We all know how much rainbow trout, brown trout, like orange, like blobs and all those other nice little orange flies we tend to use. And I've seen them many times come in and actually attack the fly line joint. So you're getting lots of false takes, and it can drive you nuts sometimes. Just a word of warning: if you're using one of these orange leader joints, just keep your eyes open. If you're missing loads of takes, just bear that in mind. You might not be missing them. They might not actually just be taking your fly. They might just be having a go at the leader joint. Anyway, keep this nice and short. Let's take about just an inch or so of this silicone tubing. Just cut that off. Okay, we want to thread that onto there. Now, 2 ways we can do this. We can actually thread it on just by passing that through into it there. The trouble is the ends of this tend to fray up and it can become quite difficult to do. So what I like to use is an old bit of fluorocarbon. Just cut yourself a few inches of fluorocarbon. Okay. We pass the fluorocarbon through silicone tubing. Okay. We pass the end of the fluorocarbon through the eye of the braided loop, like so, and then back through the silicone tubing. Okay, so you end up with silicone tubing, braided loop, yeah? And then all you've got to do is pull that silicone tubing down onto the braided loop, like so. So it's just by the eye of the braided loop. You can get rid of that bit of fluorocarbon now. You don't want to pull it all the way down into where the join of this braided loop is, just in here. It's doubled up here. Okay, you won't be able to push the line into there, so just allow that tubing just to sit there for a minute before we put the line in. Okay, Turn that around. It's very simple little trick. These braided loops are great little pieces of kit. They act like a Chinese finger trap. Just gonna shear the end of that fly line off there, give you a better ending. They go like a Chinese finger trap. And what you've got to do with this is just find the opening to that braided loop and just pass that down into the braided loop. You just get it started, and then you're just going to feed it in. So you get that started, and then you push that braided loop open, and then pull that down. So pushing it with the left hand, pulling it. You're just working your way up all the time, just pushing that braided loop and then pulling it, pushing it and pulling it all the way. It's a great little, easy little joint to use, this is, and they last for ages and ages and ages, these braided loops. They don't get worn out by using fluorocarbon, and nice secure. So just work that all the way up until you get to the doubled up part of the braided loop, and just keep that working all the way up, right the way to that joint there, but you can't get it to go any further then. Okay, so you end up with the braided loop inside your fly line. All right, now you can just pull that tight, and that's lovely and tight, and that isn't going to go anywhere. Okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to secure that, just to make it doubly secure. I'm going to slide that silicone tubing. I'm just going to slide that down over the loop, over the line, almost to the joint. Okay, not quite to the joint here. Just going to hold back a little bit just before the joint. And what we're going to do at that joint part there is we're going to take a little bit of super glue, and we're just going to put a little dab of super glue. Don't drown it in super glue, doesn't need it, just a little dab of super glue just on that joint there. That's fine, that's ample. Just a little dab there, and then we're going to slide that silicone tubing down just so it goes over the joint, just goes over the edge, tapers there. That's where we're going to stop it, just there. That provides a lovely, secure, safe loop to tie your fly line, your leader line onto over and over and over, and this will last you for ages. And they're very easy to replace should you need to. They're great. You can do them in the field. We've done many of these on a boat when I've actually been out fishing. Once you have a little bit of a play with them, a little bit of practice with them, they really don't take 2 minutes to change over. And that there, I would imagine, well, that's going to do me for the next season. I'd be very surprised if I have to change that for another season. Hopefully, like I think it might last me a couple of seasons. They will eventually start to fray at the ends there after a bit of use, but they are a lot longer use than your braided loop, than your welded loop that they come with. So I hope you find that informative. I hope that helps you out. Thanks very much. Don't forget to click subscribe and like, and I'll keep popping out these videos.